Hello. Hello, hello. Grace, Ray, Zen, Raquel, how are we all doing? Happy Wednesday. I got 1.6k. Congratulations, you're saving, you're getting there. Whoa, already? It was 20k. Hello, my sleeping. Oh my goodness, Zen? You hitting me with the sick line? Oh my goodness, you're gonna make me blush. What we all up to? What we all doing? Kituna smug. I just finished editing a video, so now I'm chilling. It's the beautiful fish. I've been counting the hours until I could have the pleasure to speak with you again. Hello, soul. It's been a bit. What you up to tonight? Are you lurking in Sal's stream? How's Sal doing? Also, Zen, is it a surprise? Are we allowed to know what you're editing? What it was? Well, whatever you finished? Is it for YouTube? This is my personality. Wiggle slam. Guys, I think I'm kind of addicted to emote comms now, cause I bought another one. Oh yeah, Soul, happy Wednesday. How are you? It's for Blade's TikTok. Ugh, ads. Sorry, boyos. Some of y'all about to get smacked by ads. There she is, spending her Twitch millions on little artworks. Yeah. I can't help it, because I found like a lot of cute artists on VGen that are having like really cute little sales, and I can't. Someone get me off VGen. Look, the more emotes I get means the more emotes you guys can use. I love supporting the streamer with ads, for real, for real. Oh my god, I love her. I love you. She's, 10 cents at a time. What's VGen? It's a platform. It's like a trusted art platform that artists can sell things. And it's also consumer friendly. So after a certain deadline, if the artist doesn't make good on their word, you can get a full refund without having going through the hassle of doing it through another way. So yeah, that's what VGen art. It's also a good place to get reasonably priced art. I return. I'm explaining VGen to Grace. Ow! I thought you went to bed. Hi, twin. VGen is pretty epic. VGen's so good. Thank you for the head pats, twin. Uppies. Zen uppies. Hold on. Zen. Where'd your plushie go? There you are. Thank you for the head pad, soul. There Zen is. Uppies for Trin too. Hit and run. Alright, good night, my. Well, hits me and runs. Only makes me sturdier. Okay, hold on. Who's this pretty? It's me! Wow, it's Sora, Kingdom Hearts! What? Getting stuck in ads, damn. So close, it's Cloud. Cloud. You were so close. Zen does that too. Zen draws that too. No. Who's this pretty princess? It's Link, actually. Sippy sippies. So many head pats for me. Oh my goodness, head pat is so... What you got? It's Wednesday, my dudes. How we all doing today? So many. Dude, the sturdier I get, that means the more head pats I can accept without going bald. Did you die, Kituna? No, why? Played some DBD with Blade today, had a good time? That's good. My DBD sessions were kind of mean to me, but they were overall okay. I'm doing great now that I get to hang out with such a beautiful fish. Oh, that's me! I'm here to yap a little bit. See, I would play games, but I don't think we have enough time. Not tonight. Maybe tomorrow, Friday. I hate Springtrap. Oh, did you just get a ton of Springtrap games? I think we played against like 7 Springtraps and then 1 Huntress. That's all our games looked like. Also, Trin, do you recognize this music? No gym? No gym tonight. Yeah, it's lads. But brownie points if you can guess which event it was. Ah! Ah! Oh my goodness, we just started! Trigga! What the heck? Hello, hello, welcome in and thank you for the 5 gifted! Hey, yo! Is that the king himself coming in to hit and run? No idea. It's from Nightly Rendezvous. It's from the Nightly Rendezvous event. Trigga, how are you? Happy Wednesday! What blessings are you about to drop on, like, wise words? What was that? That was the one, you know the cards where they, like, furiously make out with the MC? The ones that, like, had people going crazy. Yo, big gifted. Thank you so much. Trigga just absolutely nailed the daily sub goal with 5 gifted subs. That's total 25 from them. Pond royalty. Wow, Frosty. I probably know if I saw it. I'll send it to you later. Dude, Nightly Rendezvous is probably my... I mean, it was a really saucy event, but, like, it had the best music in my opinion. If you notice, I'm a king that trigger the dream that causes a nightmare that becomes the endless, which turned into an elusive dream. I am your figment of your imagination and construct, for I am infinite and I am dream, the keeper of dreams, Trigger King. You know what? I believe it. And then we wake up from the dream and you're gone. What?
I want to
Oh
emote.
my good. Trin, thank you for the 100 biddies. You want the emote? What's the emote that you're trying to get? Which one? Personal best is so cute. Oh my god, can we get personal best? Trin just sent a special delivery of 100 bits. Looks like someone getting their emote wish granted. Okay, well, Frosty, you kinda... That was a bit... Frosty kinda just... Honestly, I'm good with any of them but the ponder. Fish? Fish. Wait, let me look at what we got. What's the ponder? Respectfully, no. The icon's unique. Give me that. Personal best. A gift for you. Kituna. Wait, no, that's not. This is kitty hype, not Kituna hype. Wait, I don't see a ponder. Came by to say hi. Okay, bye. Hi, Mika. Bye, Mika. Thanks for the drive-by. Dude, I see everybody on, like, my stream list that I could potentially raid. Everyone's playing Date Everything. I feel like I'm missing out right now. I feel like I'm not on the right train. I low-key wanted to try Date Everything. Should low-key do something about that? I'll do that. I'll do something about that later when I have more time. What are you playing? We're probably not gonna be playing games tonight. We're just gonna be yapping. I low-key want to try Date Everything. What's stopping you, Zen? I'm broke. Girl, it's time to open commissions. Do it. Zen, what's your V-Gen? What's the thing on the screen then? What thing? Oh, is that lurk? Oh. That's lurk bait fishing. That's fishing. That's not a game. You can fish by just typing exclamation mark fish in the chat, Grace. Wait, I think I actually have money. Zen? Imagine being broke could absolutely be me. I think that could be a lot of us. Except Trigga. Trigga can never be broke. Look at him. Absolute king. Just throwing Dash into the pond. Funding us. Funding the emotes. All our future emotes. Choo-choo! You got chill, girl? I forgot. I have all of level 1's emotes, so I can't... I can't collect anything from level 1 anymore. I wanted to say keep dreaming big. Keep dreaming big. Do not fear your imagination. Let it run wild. Let your goal become your reality and your reality become happiness. Let your prayer be heard and your wishes become yours. I love you, I love you, I love you always. I love you endlessly. Aww. You know what? I do. I am trying to dream big, but you know. Gotta get through a lot of other things before I can get big. We all start somewhere, and right now I'm starting small. We're bigger than what we used to be, though, so I guess it's working. Like growing a few inches might help. You know, my tail could help me if I could keep it, you know? People would know what I actually am, and then you guys eat my tail, and then I'm just cat ears. I'm just every other cat girl. The minute I lose this tail, I'm every other cat girl. You think about that? The minute I lose the ears, I'm every other fish girl. But yeah, I'm still mad at the end of season 2. You? What was season 2? Who was season 2? Was that Love? Was that the start of Love? Yeah, Start of Love and Delilah and 40, bro. Oh, yeah! I watched some of season 1 with my friends, and that... Zen, you gotta watch it all the way through. It cooks all 5 seasons. I've finished the show last month, or like whenever the final dropped. How did I not notice the tail? Did you not notice this tail? I guess it kind of blends in with my head. It does only get better. Honestly, it does. Thank you for the head pat, Soul. Perhaps I should ask if they'd be down to watch Bull then. Do it. Do it. Just try. Just try. Did season 1 like turn you away? Nah, it's more like they were streaming and I just happened to join as they watched and didn't pick it back up. 100%, you gotta watch more. It's cause we keep it nice and manageable size. Yeah. What do you mean nice and manageable? You guys just eat it all the time. You don't even give it time to grow. Don't lie to her. Pumpkin, didn't you get me into it? I think I did, yeah. I like watched the first season and I was like, you guys, check out this show. You're just too cute not to pat. I would pat you 100 times if I had the points. Oh my goodness, the head pat apocalypse. Bro, head pat apocalypse. The more you spam head pats, the faster it gets. But there's a cooldown, so it's kind of hard to trigger it. You're gonna... Nah, I'm too sturdy, Grace. I'm too sturdy. I've become so sturdy by the bonks, by the head pats, that I can't be bold. I love the actor for Joe being concerned about the girls shrimping over Joe. Yeah, dude. He's so real for that. I will get Runabald someday. Just gotta save to 100k points and just head pats till I can't. Bro, that'd be a wild day. It's just continuous, endless head pats. I thirst, you gotta stay hydrated. You're drinking the mayonnaise, Grace. That's a box of mayonnaise in that emote. From start of stream to the end of stream. Just endless head pats. It just never ends. We just hear head pats all stream. Can you collab with an engineer and have them build a machine that actually head pats you IRL when redeem it before the 100k? How? How am I gonna find that? How would that work? I'm a Kituna in a pond. Would the machinery work underwater? Imagine that IRL. I didn't know that. I could do 240 head pats. Did you just do the math? Guys, look, the bubbles are here. Look at our bubbles. Can fish grow hair? Yes! Look at me, for example. I am a wonderful example. I'll go to the pond and pat her head for everyone. Easy? Yeah. Yeah, see, Zen could just do it for everyone. Not hard math because it costs 100. You're so right. But I don't know how much you have, so I can't divide. Never mind, Code is so smart, he did it for us. Caleb is calling me without my consent. I'm suing Infold. Trin, you will never guess the website that I found today. It literally has like everyone's like story, memories, phone calls, text messages, everything like in chronological order, what they think would be. Like every little detail. It was so crazy. Look, I'll send you the website too. Like it was wild. No, like the actual animal. Sorry if that sounded rude. Well, chronological... Remember, time is not linear in this game, so take chronological with a grain of salt. It's like chronological in said interest's story. Are the boys aware, MC? Well, remember when we were like doing a mission with Xavier and Mephisto? Silas's bird was spying on us while we were doing the mission with Xavier, so... Yes, they are aware of one another's presence. But I read that Xavier actually will not force himself to interject himself into her life. He's gonna let her pick, regardless if he picks her or not, which is actually so tragic. Oh my god, for some reason I thought you said IRL texts and calls were being documented on a website. I was like, how? I might... No. It was, all the games, like, when the boys text and call you, they documented it all on a website. It's like a lot. It is so much on that site. I was genuinely so impressed. Yeah, and it they do it, like, in the order of, like, when you first meet the interest to, like... as the story progresses, so like as your relationship with him progresses, and it's wild. Are we picking at the end of the story? Well, Love in Deep Space is still an Otomi game at the end of the day, so what I imagine is happening is that so you know how we've already seen the game kind of branch out with like everyone's different stories? Eventually you're gonna have to pick a branch and just continue on that branch. Like, you know, when you do Zane's main story, everyone else's story that you could do doesn't happen in the world that you're doing in Zane's. So like, if you do Silas's, that means whatever event you were gonna do with Zane doesn't exist in that world since you picked Silas's. And also I learned, depending on the male interest you picked, that's like the thing that's keeping the main character alive. Like I pick Raphael. That means my problem with Raphael is I have his heart. His heart is what's keeping the main character alive. You're playing Zane. You know what's keeping you alive? The Creatio heart that he gave you? Girl, I watched this... Dude, I did like a deep dive during my slow hours today, so... My feelings hurt. Dude, we could watch... Do you guys wanna... We could watch like a lore video. We can watch the lore video I watched together, like right now. And by lore video, it's kind of like she explains the meaning of how the timeline's not linear. Please no, it's not that bad, and she's actually very entertaining. It was like a 15-minute video. My brain not wanna hurt. It's not that bad. She like dumbs it down. If I can get through it, you can get through it. I'm down. We could do it. We could 100% do it. Like, dude, it just hurts my... So what I also learned is all the myths are happening on the, they're all their own parallel universes. They're all occurring simultaneously at the same time. And the only reason everyone is together is because the timelines have overlapped for this one moment in the present. That's why everyone can kind of feel their myths, all like that's happening in the present timeline. But it didn't happen in the universe that they're living in. They can just feel it because everyone's reincarnated. Yes, Grace? Like, I don't know personally, that's something I'd rather put on in the background. I want to see, I like hearing about what you like or not. Dude, I just love the lore in this game. I forget, like, sometimes, like, this isn't, like, just a romance game. There's just a whole bunch of, like, lore and mind-bending, complicated stuff, and I love it. Here, we'll watch it together, and we'll watch it together. So I'm still here, so you guys can... It's also a combat game. Grace, I answered you earlier. Yes, they do. Here, let me pull up the video and we can watch it together. It's 12 minutes. It's 12 minutes long. We can do 12 minutes. I didn't do auto combat at first though, because I thought it was gonna be buns like most games, but dang, the auto play better than I do. Yeah, same. Also, my day was good, Grace. I'm just a little eepy. I'm tired. Nothing too crazy though. But I wanted to come by and do a short stream and say hi everyone. I wanted to stream earlier, but I was just so tired. I couldn't pull myself out of the pond to stream. Okay, here, let me pull up the video. Alright, you guys ready for this? We're gonna turn off Nightly Rendezvous. Alright, Pumpkin event, 10 pull time, easy, double myth, watch. Good luck, Trin! If Raph comes home, you've messed up your wedding banner chances. Alright. I'm fine. What's your pity at? I'm at 47. I got the crate today. I free to play grinding a bunch of gems for like the last 12 pulls, and I got all 12. So I got R1. Hi 5B. I'm 53. I'm at 46. I don't know how I've already gone from 70 to 46. Girl, I hard free to play grinded whatever I had left. Alright. This is the timeline video, and it's pretty dumbed down, so it's very easy to understand. How are you doing, 5B? How's your Wednesday?
With Caleb's release just a couple of days away, I think it's super important to talk about how the characters' storylines play into one another, or rather, how they kind of don't. I've noticed from the comments on my lore yap videos and the online community recently that a lot of people are still confused about how each love interest fits into the story, and honestly, that's really understandable. So the game doesn't exactly spoon-feed you the lore.
No,
it's
it doesn't.
really subtle and sometimes kind of cryptic, and you kind of have to piece it together yourself. While I love that about the game, I get that it's not for everyone, and some might find it overwhelming, frustrating, or even confusing.
Nice pull, Trin. Just one Zane card.
Spoon feed you, but obviously,
you will not be spoon fed. She's gonna spoon feed you.
And have your own theories. I'm just here to help you connect the dots.
I will answer 5B real quick. I'm doing good. I'm just a little Eepy 5B. We're gonna go over this like timeline explanation again. This is just her theory, by the way. This is just her theory because no one in this goddamn universe knows what's going on in the game besides the devs. But I think she has a pretty good concept on like what the theory is.
So before we get into this, I really want to drill this in your head. As I said before, this game does not spoon feed you about the lore, and there's so many hidden subtleties and references that will go over your head if you blink.
Is that good, Sen?
Miss things just like that. So with that being said, what I'm about to share is a mix of facts and my own interpretations and theories based on what I've seen and compiled, along with some theories from the online community that I think make sense. But this game is still being updated and the story is still ongoing. So what I'm about to say now might not be relevant anymore in 4 to 5 months or even a year or two from now as the story of this game evolves. Well, alright, so let's talk about the facts first. The storylines are separated, and this is factual. And I should have mentioned this in the beginning of every lore yap videos that I have, and I'm gonna do that from now on. But yeah, this is me telling you that the game is telling us that the storylines are separated. So when you log into the game and select dating, it's written down there at the bottom of the screen. I've been seeing more and more people saying that the myths are connected. Stuff like, oh, Seagod Raphael's timeline comes first and then main character reincarnates into Zane's universe. No, this is the game telling us very clearly that no, they are not connected. And this is a classic Otome setup. Each timeline is a self-contained story, and you can dive into one without worrying about
Happy
the
Wednesday.
others. Does that make sense? So no, our main character is not cheating on the other love interest by reincarnating from one myth into another. I've been seeing people saying that, and it kills me every time I see it. Each storyline stands on its own, so each myths, they focus entirely on one love interest, and the other love interest does not exist in that myth. The myths are not connected, even though many of them takes place in Philos, and I'll explain this in more detail. Don't worry. Look, I know for some of you this is really obvious, but for others...
Just to recap, Philos is the planet that died before, the current planet that everyone's living on now. Philos is an old planet, and then people traveled through deep space and found this new planet to exist on. So that's what Philos is. That's where Xavier's from. He's from a dying planet.
Who have never played an Otome game before, or for those who just have no idea what is happening, I really need to emphasize
that is how it's pronounced.
Also, if this is your first Otome game, welcome to the club. How does it feel to be a degenerate? Just kidding. We're not degenerates. Or are we? Okay, let's come back to the matter at hand. Let's clear up how the main story fits into all this. So the main story is like a common root. They all exist in it. All the love interests are present and are probably aware of each other. Just like in other Otome games, we might see them interact, and we already kind of did. Yes, they're aware of each other.
There it is, Trin. There it is. Here's the beginning of the game where we're talking to Xavier.
In other Otome games, we might see them interact.
And then there's Silas's bird. So yeah, no, they do know each other exist. That wasn't what I asked though. Wait, what did you ask? I'm awake because it's 4 AM and the sun is out. Good morning, Meow. I know they know each other exist. I knew that. Meow, why are you up? I gotta go. Bye, Grace. Thanks for hanging out for as long as you could. It was nice seeing ya. I was talking about the cheating thing. She is not cheating. Because when you pick a route, right? Whatever happens in that route stays in that route. That is a timeline that happens in that route. So you are stuck. She is not an interdimensional whore. if you're doing Zane's route, every other male lead kind of just fades into the background, and everything that you've ever done with them never actually happened. Like, main story stuff does happen, but if you're doing date stuff, if you're doing their branch stories, that doesn't happen when you're doing your male leads in, like, story. So she's not cheating.
We already kind
Chill.
of did. Yes, they're aware of each other. They know each other. They can interact with each other. The important thing that you need to know is that our main character is neutral.
Oh yeah, and this is a pretty wild line from Caleb to say. I feel like he didn't mean this when he offered it, but Caleb was like, "Oh, main character, just invite Zane over for dinner," and I was like, "He's gonna kill Zane." I was like, Caleb's crazy. Wait, what? What's going on? I'm confused. Hi, Forever Confused. Why are you confused? How did you get here? Oh god, I don't think I'm gonna get any straight answers from you if you're confused. I'm kind of confused too.
The thing that you need to know is that our main character
welcome
is
in
in the main story.
How'd you find
this is
us?
A typical otome structure. There's a common route where everyone's storyline overlap, but once you hit a branch, the focus shifts entirely to one love interest.
There you go, Trin.
Any romantic interaction, whether through dates, tender moments, secret times, or myths, are clearly separated from the main story. Unless it's a specific branch in the main story, our main character remains neutral. And when you do enter a branch, the focus is on that one love interest, just like how otome games traditionally work. Now here's something important to clarify. Yes, the main story does imply that all the love interests have some kind of shared past connection with our main character. For example, Raphael has his bond with her, and she's got the sea god's heart, and Silas shares a soul with her. And yes, the myths happened. They all exist. They kind of overlap, but it's kind of your choice which one you want to like interact with. So the main story is what we call the canon storyline, where all the love interests exist. It's up to the player to choose which one they want to pursue.
I don't know how I got here. One moment I was there and now I'm here. Where is there? It's there, not here. Bro, you're super confused. Do you need a doctor? Do you need a therapist? Because I'm neither of those things. I think I'd probably make it worse, to be honest.
In other words, while you can interact with other love interests, the one that you choose is the only one that matters. It's as simple as that. For example, if you pick Silas's branch when it comes out in the future, you may still interact with Raphael, Xavier, and Zane. They might exist in this branch, but this is Silas's branch, and they're just side characters in his branch. Only Silas's myth will be relevant and drive the plot forward. It is the same for any other love interest you choose. If you choose Zane, for example, then his myth is the one that'll matter, and the others will kind of fade into the background. This is important to note because it completely debunks any theory suggesting that a particular love interest met our main character first. All the love interest met our main character first in their own myths. There's no first one to meet in the main storyline. What you doing on Twitch tonight, Forever Confused? Makes the branching system work so well. But again, I could be wrong, but the game clearly states that it's separated. Maybe it'll change in the future, I don't know. So for those of you who are not familiar with otome games, this is usually how things work. Each love interest branch is completely separate from the others. Typically, in otome games, whichever branch you pick will have its
Reno, what's poppin'? Hi, Keys. We're watching a YouTube video to explain freaking timelines, myths, and parallels in the very, very complex game of Love in Deep Space, which is not just a husband gacha game. It's got more lore. I swear to God. It's not as cringy as people think. It's genuinely very good. How are you today, Keys? How's your Wednesday?
Own unique ending tied specifically to that love interest story and character arc. This structure helps keep each love interest storyline focused and ensures players can explore different outcomes without overlap or confusion. Okay, now that the facts are out of the way, this is where my theory comes in. Since Infold explicitly states that the storylines are separated, I think it's very safe to say that all of this is happening in parallel universes. I know, stay with me now. So I think the connections in the main story are a part of the bigger picture, but each love interest has their own separate storyline that exists in its own world. Now, when it says the storylines are separated, that doesn't mean they're completely isolated from each other in time. It still leaves room for the possibility that everything is happening all at once, but in different parallel universes. Each universe runs its own storyline independently, but they could be occurring simultaneously in these separate worlds. So I don't think this theory is too far-fetched, since this is a sci-fi fantasy game, and the concept of parallel universes has been explored before, like in Dawnbreaker Zane, for example. Now let's deep dive into this theory about how time and timelines work in Love and Deep Space. And I'm not gonna lie, it's one of those mind-bending concepts, so hang in there with me. Let's hold hands, stay with me. I'm gonna show you a clip from chapter 1 of the game, basically the prologue of this game.
Day 1326. Attention. Target anchor lost. No response from base. Traceback 2 is about to pass the event horizon and enter the black hole. We are stuck in this loop. This never-ending journey.
Right off the bat, the game is hinting that time is not going to be linear. And trust me, that's something you really need to grasp if you want to understand what's going on here. So
I
I'm gonna talk
forgot
about
that
black
happened
holes
at
for
the
a little
start.
bit. Please stay with me. So what happens to time inside a black hole? According to physics, the gravity is so intense that it wraps both time and space, causing them to behave in ways we can't fully understand. Time doesn't just stretch, it essentially breaks down and stops functioning the way we know it. It disappears into itself, no longer following the usual rules we are familiar with. And this is exactly why the game is so mind-bending, especially when it comes to timelines. The minute I realized Love and Deep Space has black holes, space travels, time loops, different realities, and all of this other mind-bending stuff, I just know we're not dealing with a simple, straightforward timeline anymore. Because when you're dealing with space travel, parallel universes, and time travelers, Xavier, it's going to be messy, unpredictable, and honestly, a total mindfuck. So don't worry too much about timelines. Trying to make sense of everything in a strict chronological order isn't going to get you anywhere. When we're talking about time travel,
It'll just get you a
universes, and
migraine.
everything happening all at once, there's no neat and tidy timeline to follow. The best thing you can do is just enjoy the ride. But I know some people still get caught up in trying to fit everything into a timeline, and frankly, you're just gonna hurt your brain, man. And just to support this theory,
Trin.
I'm gonna get into Xavier's
She's talking to you.
anecdotes from World Underneath, because he touches on something kind of similar to what I just said. And I'm gonna read it with you. Some say that from a higher dimensional perspective, time doesn't exist. The past, present, and future unfold in the same space. A person can only see the world before them because their eyes can only perceive the light projected from it. If this is true, somewhere in the vast cosmos, there might exist a point where light from countless timelines converges. From there, one could see every star that ever existed, from the explosion of the universe to its eventual collapse, and witness every possible ending the world could take under an infinite number
That's
of
really
forces.
ominous.
Guys, it's literally everything everywhere all at once. I think this is exactly what is happening here. The game is telling us that everything is happening simultaneously across different realities. Think of it like a giant cosmic web of possibilities where every timeline exists at once and our perception is just one small piece of it. And it's wild, it's chaotic, but I guess that's the beauty of it. Sometimes we gotta remind ourselves this is a sci-fi fantasy game. And yeah, this brings me back to the core of my theory. It's all happening in parallel universes. Time is not linear, and every choice, every event is unfolding in its own universe, existing at the same time as all the others. The love interest, they each have their own independent storylines, but they're all happening simultaneously.
Is there a timeline where you never meet Raph? No. No, you have to meet all of them. It's just one of them will be like the one you end up with.
In different realities. Zane Smith matters in his world. Silas is in his. But that doesn't mean the others cease to exist. They're just operating within their own separate universes. So even though each love interest story is isolated, they're a part of a larger interconnected web of realities. And this is why trying to fit everything into a strict timeline, in my opinion, just don't really work. The game is telling us from the start that time isn't linear and that everything happens at once in different dimensions and timelines that overlap. So maybe embrace the chaos and stop trying to force everything into a linear sequence. Everything exists at the same time, just in different parallel universes. And again, this is just my opinion. Time is messy, and that's what makes this whole experience so mind-bending. God, I love this game. We all get it in one big package. We get the beautiful hot man who yearns for us, and the spicy moments, and then we get the mind-bending, super deep.
I'm so glad, Ray. I'm so glad we still have you.
And then we make the love interests catch plushies for us, and then we watch them fail miserably. They're giving us everything, and a period tracker too. But yeah, that was a lot. Are you still here with me? I wouldn't be surprised if people clicked off in the middle of the video, because when I was writing the script, I had to take a lot of breaks because my brain was hurting, trying to piece this all together. But if you're still here, thank you for sticking with me, and thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I originally wanted to talk about our main character as well in this video, but there's already so much information in this video and I don't want to overwhelm you. Well, more like I don't want to overwhelm myself. But yeah, leave a like if you want, and consider subscribing if you like hearing me yap about this game. And yes, Xavier girlies, the next video is gonna be about your man, don't worry. I got you, girl. Alright, well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
I'm also a big, like, I love multiple timelines, I love parallel universes, so I also kind of grasp the concept easily. It's not that complicated, to be honest. 12 minutes is a long time to just say there's multiple timelines. Well, apparently not enough people could understand. Like, there's multiple timelines, she's not cheating on anybody, and everything is just happening simultaneously at the same time in different universes. Is this about a game? Movie series? Yeah, it's about a game. Yeah, a game. Yeah, it's called Love in Deep Space. I streamed it a couple of times. It's a mobile game. It's a dating game. Oh, a mobile game, huh? I could smell the microtransactions up to here. Dating game, huh? One sec. Yeah. Gotta check if something's available in English. Yeah, it's available in English. I think it's available in most countries. But like, it was just such a good breakdown video. Dude, the video that she has about the main character is also like really, really good. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. There it is.
Finally. I'm finally making a video for our main.
What do you mean? I literally think it just answered. Like, they all know they're aware of one another, but like... the thing, like, the choices that you make do not correlate with any of the other guys. Like, if you pick one guy, you're only doing that one guy's story, and his story is what's driving your character. Like, you pick Zane, so in your story, Zane is the one that saved your heart by giving you Cratio's heart. In my story, my main character lives because she has Raphael's heart. But if I swap to, like, Caleb or something, that'd be a whole different universe. So it's not cheating. Oh, so they all, you know, they're all just friends in the main story. I think. They're not.
Character. I think I've connected enough dots to start speculating about what she actually is. We get so caught up in thirsting over the boys, which is Understandable. But we get so caught up in thirsting over the boys that we sometimes forget that the entire plot literally spins around her. I mean, she's the main character. She's the catalyst, the anchor, the reason things happen. So yes, she absolutely deserves the spotlight. But just so we're clear, I have access to the same information you do. Everything I'm about to say is just me connecting the dots based on what we've seen so far. Some parts of this video are grounded in lore facts, and some are pure theory. So do not treat this like some final answer on what MC actually is, because honestly, we still don't know. Think of this as a yap session between you and me, because I'm not here to tell you how to think. I'm just trying to make sense of the chaos, just like the rest of us. And just a heads up, if you're new to the game, this video is going to be very lore heavy. It'll make a lot more sense if you already have a decent grasp of everyone's storylines, because I won't be breaking down every single detail. And as always, I might miss something. I am just one little brain, so if you catch something I didn't, drop it in the comments. I'll be yapping there with you because I read every single one. So with that out of the way, let's lay out what we actually know about RMC in the current timeline. Based on Sealed in Dust, World Underneath 6, we learned that she was experimented on as a child under the name Test Subject 001 at the Gaia Research Center. One of her abilities is that she could come back to life, and to study that, the researchers killed her repeatedly. Every time she revived, she lost all her memories, who she was, and what she experienced.
Yep.
Because of her ability, they called her a unicorn, because she was special, and it's almost like she's something that is not supposed to exist. She escaped from the lab during the Chrono Rift catastrophe in 2034. After that, she was found by Josephine, one of the researchers from that same lab. She stayed with Josephine for 14 years until 2048, when she decided to become a hunter. Not because someone told her to, but because she wanted to take control of her life, and she didn't want to feel powerless anymore. So this story tells us right from the beginning that her evol is called the Resonance Evol, which belongs to the Anhausen class, and her ability is to amplify the evil of others. But as the story progresses, and especially once we dig into her lore in World Underneath 6, we learn that that's not the full scope of her powers. She doesn't just amplify, she can
dude, the main character in this game is actually nutty. She's kinda crazy.
also absorb. And as we follow her story, her fate ends up deeply intertwined with these 5, soon to be 6, beautiful hunks of men. Some she's known since childhood, like Caleb and Zane. Others, like Raphael and Xavier, she met long ago but completely forgot about. And then there's Silas, who she had no connection with before, and this is their first meeting in this timeline in long-awaited revelry. And as we follow her journey in the main story, it becomes pretty clear that her bond with them stretches beyond just this lifetime. We start seeing her do things that shouldn't be possible, getting visions of another life, reading an alien language from the future, and somehow knowing the exact words to calm down an angry sea god. And we also learn that she's being watched by a lot of people, whether it's the love interests who have been keeping an eye on her for way longer than she realizes, or shady organizations whose goals are obviously malicious, and almost all of it seems to point back to one thing. They're observing her because of her power, and the way they talk about her, it's like they already know what her full potential is, which we,
No,
as
Ray,
the
not
players, still
McDonald's.
don't, because the game hasn't exactly laid it all out for us just yet. But who's to say we can't speculate? And that's what we're doing right now. So to understand MC's power, we have to look at the myths, the other existence that she's had, her parallel selves. Why am I treating the myths like parallels? Because of these sources from the game, Xavier's anecdote and this in-game article from Deep Space Time. You can pause to read or check them out later after this video. But basically, the game has been hinting to us that time in this story is not linear. Everything is happening all at once. Separate timelines, different lives, but they influence each other. Think multiverse shit. And in the myths, we get glimpses of her powers because those stories have already ended, unlike the main story we're in now, which is still unfolding. The myths gives us a peek at what she's already been, and from there we can start piecing together a theory of what she is, or maybe just end up with a bigger question. Who knows? So there's a few overarching themes that I noticed that keeps repeating itself in these myths. The first one is her ability to destroy, absorb, or take. This theme shows up over and over again in ways that feel too specific to be a coincidence. In Fallen Cosmos, she's implied to be the one carrying destructio energy. She's not just fighting, she's built to destroy. Every time she returns from battle, she's in pieces. She can't sustain herself, so someone else with construo, the opposite, constructive energy, has to constantly repair her body and keep her going. Her very existence is tied to destruction. In Zane's Foreseer myth, her body is failing, specifically her heart, and to survive, she needs to take the Creatio Protocore, a divine energy source from
Okay,
Zane's
Zan.
staff. Notice how in both myths, she needs something else to keep her going. Creatio and Constro aren't exactly the same, but they give off the same core energy. Creation.
Dude, these videos make me like desperately need more. Like, I need to know what is the main character? What are you? Why are you so deeply entwined with these poor men? She's absolutely like ruined their lives.
She needs it to live. Whether she realizes it or not, she's always drawn to it. Maybe it's not something she needs, maybe it's something she's missing. In Salus's myth, it's about survival and desire. She wants something from him, his eye, his power, and without even fully realizing what she's doing, in the first chapters of his myth, she absorbs his power. It's instinctual, and it shows us her power isn't just reactive, it's hungry. And then there's God of Tides, where her involvement in Raphael's ceremony causes Lemuria to literally plunge into darkness. The flame meant to sustain his world dies. A whole civilization collapses. And that's not just consequence.
Whole civilization.
That's what happens when she's involved.
A whole civilization dead because Raph just loved her when he was supposed to kill her. The game is so dramatic. Wait, is this gonna spoil Zane's other myth? Do I need to leave? I don't think so. I can also just like, if we see Zane, like any mention of Zane, I'll just skip over it.
We start to see a pattern here. MC takes. Her power pulls things in,
but it should just be about the main character.
Alters, and in some cases, leaves ruin behind. But her power also gives and nurtures.
Understood,
there
ma'am.
are other myths in Shooting Star, Abyss Walker, and even in the current timeline, where her power isn't just destructive. In Shooting Stars, she's sacrificed again and again, not to cause death, but to preserve life. The planet Philos feeds on her immortality. Her body, her power, her sacrifice literally becomes the foundation of a world that refuses.
Can we talk about how Xavier had to sacrifice the main character in his myth because if he doesn't, his planet will die? Why does she need to die in all of these worlds? Oh yeah, if you don't die, my planet will. And Xavier doesn't kill her, because obviously Xavier's not gonna kill her.
To die. In Abyss Walker, it's her heart that sustains Philos' future. She becomes a divine battery, something sacred and stabilizing. And in the main story, her power has done nothing but amplify others. Her evil is resonance. She syncs with other people's energy and makes it stronger. There's no destruction. Not yet. So based on all of that, maybe it's not that she's good or bad. Maybe her power simply reacts. It mirrors the world around her. She doesn't just take or give, she resonates. And resonance is both. In physics, resonance is a phenomenon that occurs when a system vibrates with increasing amplitude due to external stimulation at its natural frequency. Basically, when two things are aligned just right, they amplify each other. And that can lead to harmony or chaos. Maybe that's why her power is so dangerous and why everyone's obsessed with it. She doesn't choose to take or give in every myth. It's like she naturally reflects or intensifies what she encounters. In some lifetimes, it devours, and in others, it nurtures. It's like she's a paradox, and the contradictions don't stop there. Across the myths, anecdotes, and even in the main story, MC is always caught in the middle of extremes. She's crucial yet unaware. She's the key to entire civilizations, but somehow always left in the dark. And she's a fixed point in a shifting universe. Constant yet ever-changing. Her role, her relationships, her memories, all shifts across timelines. But she's always her. So what do you call something like that? Something that shouldn't exist, but does, and keeps breaking the system just by being there.
MC
a variable.
Is the
In
black
Master of
hole.
Fate, there's
She's
this
a
moment where
variable.
this old man...
So I think Master of Fate is Zane's, so we're just gonna stop right there and we're gonna skip. Am I correct? Is Master of Fate Zane's? I don't know the name of his cards. I genuinely don't know what Master of Fate is. Because I don't think it's Silas, and I don't think it's Raphael. It's definitely not Raphael, but Raphael talking to old people? Are you serious? It's an Eepy night. How's stream? How are you? What are you doing? Did you have fun? We're just diving into some Love and Deep Space Yap videos because I'm an Eepy and I just want to talk about my interests and my lore. Welcome Raiders, I'm back. What did I miss? It's just a raid. A raid with Sal. Salamander VT, a lit true game? Sounds like a recipe for disaster. When they're not busy plotting world domination, they're probably grinding League or Valorant. Just don't let them catch you in their death grip. Well, that's ominous. Date everything. 'Twas great. Who are you dating? Did it say it was a myth? Yeah, it did. Hold on here. I'll just like skip a little bit. Old man. And then... none of them are named Master of anything? Welcome, Sal, everyone. You dated everyone? Damn. You want me to go back? But girl, we don't even know whose this is. I don't want to spoil it if it's Zane's. I can't spoil it for you. Thank you, Sal. Just 10 seconds, okay.
There, a variable. In Master of Fate, there's this moment where this old man, someone who clearly understands Zane's role as Saming.
Okay, if we just played a little bit more, we would have known who this was. This is Zane's. I literally said I didn't want to play. I could have skipped it. I didn't know whose it was. Also, for all of you that are new here, hi, I'm Runa, your local pond Kituna. I like to come up and yap every now and then. I live in a pond. I like snackies. I'm part kitty, part tuna. That's what a Kituna is. And yeah, I'm a little Eepy tonight. But it's called Snow's Embrace, not Master of Fate. Girl, I don't know! Ads. Okay, but anyways, main character is a variable because she's unpredictable.
A variable. To understand the weight of that moment, we need to talk about Taoist fate theory.
Okay, this
because Master of Fate is this mythology, where heavenly bureaucrats oversee the destinies of mortals. And I'm not saying this based on vibes. MC literally references concepts.
I like see Zane for 2 seconds. I hit skip. I return for ads. Welcome back. You can risk the furniture, Sal. I'd rather date a beautiful, cute fish. I was like, you know what? Is she gonna...
It's a cosmic formula. Predictable, organized, mapped at birth. Like a river. You're born into a current, and while you can steer your little boat, the flow
I don't know
is
if it's
mostly
gonna...
fixed because
I don't know if it's gonna keep talking about Zane.
A variable doesn't float down the river. A variable bends the flow of fate. It doesn't follow the current, it rewrites it. Someone who can defy prediction can rewrite fate not just for herself, but for everyone she touches, and isn't part of the system. And then there's this line that Zane said to her in his myth.
There will be an unfortunate...
didn't account for. I think out of all of the myths, Master of Fate might foreshadow her true nature the most. And MC being called a variable by this guy, who's most likely another celestial court, that means she's messing with a literal divine system. So many contradictions in so many lifetimes. All of this brings me to this fascinating in-game article right here about consciousness. And it says,
Alright, it's done talking about Zane. We can bring her back. But yeah, that's really interesting. Alright, here we go.
Let's say there's an individual whose consciousness persists across the universe, and their consciousness isn't consumed or transformed.
This game's real
complicated. All the
complicated.
consciousness energy belonging to them in each cycle of rebirth, could they become an omniscient and omnipotent god? Doesn't this perfectly describe our MC? Think about it. MC keeps existing or reincarnating across multiple lifetimes, different myths, parallel existences, and yet she's the same consciousness experiencing it all. She might forget each lifetime.
She does.
But what if her consciousness energy isn't being lost? What if it's just temporarily fragmented or suppressed? Every version of her across different timelines, myths, and realities might actually be fragments of the same consciousness, parallel versions of herself, each carrying a piece of her true nature. The weapon, the sacrifice, the heart, the sorceress, all different expressions of the same resonance energy, just reacting to different worlds, different circumstances. And maybe, just maybe, all those fragments are slowly converging because of whatever the fuck is happening in the main story. Everything is overlapping. If she ever becomes whole, if all that consciousness energy somehow returns to her, if she ever regained all these fragmented parts, all these lifetimes of memories, power, and consciousness energy, what then? Well, according to this article, she'd essentially become omniscient and omnipotent. A god. Which honestly makes sense, given her immortality and the sheer
I want to see her become a
scale of her
god.
powers we've already seen in the myths. She might not just be powerful, she might be literally divine in nature. And another thing that always seems to be consistent, her heart. Her heart plays a really big role in multiple myths and also in the main story. There's always something wrong with it. I want to point out this scene in the main story.
Only she can save us. You, of all people, should know. That thing is with her. I've seen.
The way this backtracker said that thing inside our main character is like he's describing something that's not even human. I feel like that has some sort of connection with this scene of MC running through the Chrono Rift catastrophe. Just as she was running and senses a powerful force about to burst from her heart, right then, this weird red moon appears in the sky. So let's point out the obvious first. This is not a regular astronomical moon. It is clearly watching her, and it appears in sync with her heart doing weird stuff. So let's spiral for a second. And by the way, this is not based on anything, this is just me theorizing. But what if the blinking moon isn't an outside entity, but a manifestation of her inner core?
This game is just gods pooning other gods? Kinda. Basically. I mean, I think every storyline has some god in it, except like, I think Silas and Xavier's don't have gods in it, but everyone else, and Caleb's. So it's Raph, Zane, and... Did I just... Yeah, no. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
That doesn't fit in a human body. Her true form, flickering in and out of space or time, trying to reconnect, something she used to be, trying to wake back up. Whatever it is, it reacts to her, it appears with her, and only shows up when her inner energy hits a breaking point. And all that I just discussed brings me to something I really want to look at with you all, the official music videos. More specifically, the ones released for version 2.0 and 3.0. These songs explore the same themes the game's been subtly building this whole time. Godhood, fate, mortality, reincarnation, and the emotional weight of all of it. Version 2 talks about gods choosing between love or eternity, about how immortality isn't peace, it's loneliness. And version 3 drops words like samsara, destined encounters, and falling through stars. The lyrics basically echo everything we've been talking about. MC's parallel selves, her resonance across timelines, and the way fate keeps pulling her back into the cycle. And since this is a Chinese game, I want to highlight that samsara, aka the cycle of life, death, and rebirth is everywhere in Chinese storytelling. It's like a favorite narrative thread, especially in stories about tragic love, reincarnation, and trying to break fate. You'll see it in everything from xianxia dramas to animated films. And a quick pause for those who don't know, xianxia literally means immortal hero. It is a fantasy genre rooted in Taoist and Buddhist mythology, full of gods, cultivation, forbidden love, and characters trying to escape the cycle of reincarnation or fate. If you're familiar with Chinese dramas, you'll see it in shows like Eternal Love, Ashes of Love, or Love Between Fairy and Devil, where the leads are basically fated to fall in love across timelines, but destiny keeps screwing them over. Sounds familiar? They all play with the same ideas: immortality as a curse, samsara as a trap, and love as the force that breaks the cycle. Basically, it's a genre where you suffer beautifully. Now, I want to zoom in on some actual lines from the version 3 lyrics, because they really hit hard once you look at them through this lens. But before I do that, I want to quickly mention that the game's official English translation, or the localized version of the lyrics, are really beautiful, accurate, and they're on theme. But they do shift the meaning a little bit. And I want to show you a more literal
English
interpretation where it makes sense.
Ruins
Not
everything.
because the localized version is wrong, but because I think both versions reveal different emotional layers. Okay, first up.
These music videos were actually crazy. I went ahead and watched them. Oh my god.
The localized translation for this line is, "In this river of stars, once more the star will have a destined encounter." But the literal translation for this is, "The stars, the Milky Way, or the universe stretches on. On which one will we meet again?" The localized version definitely captures the same vibe. It's poetic, romantic, very destined encounter coded. But when you look at the literal translation, it's straight up multiverse coded. It sounds like MC drifting across timelines, reaching towards someone she used to know. It's not saying if they'll meet again, it's wondering where. The vibe is very similar in both versions, but the literal one just makes the parallel / multiverse theme way more obvious. And then there's this one. The localized translation for this is, "In the grand cycle of reincarnation, I linger, reluctant to leave." The literal translation for this line is, "Through endless cycle of samsara, searching for a single echo that we, or I, can bear to leave." This is the line that really made me pause,
This is a
because
sad
it doesn't
line.
just suggest reincarnation, it describes longing. MC might not remember everything in every timeline, but she's chasing something. She's willing to go through samsara, which is the endless cycle of suffering, because she's holding onto something. And it fits so well the idea that she is a consciousness splintered across parallel lives, not just drifting, but drawn toward familiar echoes, people, moments, choices she can't let go of. The entire song is about endless cycles, multiverse reunions, love as something divine, painful, and enduring across timelines, and fate that's both beautiful and crushing. And all of this, it feels like a thematic blueprint. All of this reflects everything we've been seeing about MC. She's not fixed in one timeline, one version of herself, or one fate. She's all of them at once. A consciousness fractured and scattered, but somehow still her, still reaching, and still resonating across timelines. She's not meant to exist, and yet she does. She's not supposed to change the system, but she already has. She's a variable, a literal anomaly, someone who's breaking an entire divine system just by existing. So, does this prove anything about what she is? Who knows? I don't want to tell you how to think. Maybe you see all this and come up with a completely different take than me. But for me, personally, after spiraling through the myths, the timelines, the rebirths, the sufferings, I think she is something ancient, something divine, scattered across time, pulled apart by fate. And as more stories unfold, we will start to see the full picture, together. Hopefully soon, because I'm telling you, the game's biggest lore drop won't be about the boys. It's gonna be about her, about what she really is.
I'm so ready for that.
Well, I hope you enjoyed spiraling with me. I had so much fun making this video. Probably my second most favorite video to make after the MLQC video. Please leave a like if you want and consider subscribing.
I'm pretty sure my theory was right. Already cracked the code. And what's your theory? What was your theory? MC is the black hole. She is the black hole in deep space. Dude, when more plot drops, I'm gonna be in shambles. Like, I'm gonna be so sick. She sucked these poor men in because she couldn't let them go. I saw like a theory out there, like she is the like potent, omniscient god or whatever. She probably pissed off Astra, and I don't know. Astra kind of like messed with her, and now she's stuck, immortal but in a mortal body, or like in a mortal lifetime, and. But before, you know, she got stuck in this timeline, she made all the guys. Like, she made everything. She made this world for herself. And I was like, that is an interesting theory. MC's got good taste, though, if she made all of them. Like, good for her. MC is just the dev. The MC is just a sadistic dev who likes to go through pain, samsara, over and over again. She's literally choosing to reincarnate over and over again. Putting these poor boys through pain and suffering every time she does it. Can't believe this girl. Anyways, I am a little bit over the time I said I'd be here for, so thank you for joining my watching Love and Deep Space Lore chat. I'll be honest, this is the first day I have even heard of him, so you're cute when you talk about it, so tell me more. When I yap about things I like. That was good. You know what? That was good, Soul. God, I don't know too many other... Actually, I was, like, in the server today. I was in the Love and Deep Space server today, and I was, like, yapping with a bunch of other lore addicts. And it was so nice. I think I'm gonna go in there more often. Yeah, but thank you for the info dump. It was a joy to listen. I'm glad you guys just enjoyed listening to me yap, even though you didn't really understand what I was talking about. She's always cute, though, but I do love listening to people yap about things they're passionate about. Yes, me and my gacha game that I am passionate about. Sleep tight, thanks for sharing your hobby and all. No problem. I do not understand Love and Deep Space, but I did learn some new things. Things that you'll probably not need to remember ever. Same, I miss the yapping. I enjoy the yapping. Aw, thanks you guys. I know, I saw you DM me Shenhe came home. I was like, yo, after all this time, finally. Congratulations! Yay! Here's some celebratory bubbles. Celebratory bubbles. I just like hearing Rina's voice, to be honest. Like, aww. Yeah. I'm glad you guys listened to my app. Skirk didn't come home, though. I don't know who Skirk is. Can you DM me who Skirk is? I'll reply. That was loud. But I'm fine with that. The girl in the image I sent? Hold on. Oh! Is she a 5-star? I thought you said you got Shenhe. That's not Shenhe. Dude, tell me why I've been seeing this girl. Like, is her name Skirk? Tell me why I'm seeing a ton of fan art of her and Chill, or like Child, however you say his name. Why am I seeing so much fan art of those two? It's upsetting me. Like, who is she? Who is she? Why is she a homewrecker? Why is she ruining my... Oh, okay. I like didn't know anything about her, but I was just seeing fan art and I was like, who? I look forward to the next stream. Can't wait to watch and listen to your beautiful face. Aww. You're gonna listen to my beautiful face. DMs will explain everything. This is Shenhe. This is why. Oh. Oh. Did you just throw... It's time to come back to Genshin real quick. It's time to stream some Genshin. Is that like plot? Is that like plot GIF? I'd 100% love to play this. Yeah, she threw him. That's fantastic. That's so funny. Okay, cool. If it was a vent, I was about to be like, "There's no way." But if it's main story, then I can. Without context, that's so funny. Ah! So, thank you for the follow. Welcome in, an official pawn cutie you are. Dive deep into the kindness pond with us. Wow, we're kind around here. That's a new one. But thank you everybody that stopped by. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for listening to me yap, even if you didn't understand it. I like being able to talk about the things I enjoy without being judged too harshly. How has bro not been following? I don't know. I don't know. But you're the pond cutie. I'm a cutie with the C. You guys are the cutie with the KY. Anyways, I gotta go for now. I gotta wake up early for workies because corporate likes to drink my blood and eat my tail. Have a wonderful night, you guys. No raid tonight because I don't have enough time. But Sal, thank you so much for the raid. So thank you for the follow. Thanks you all for hanging out. Good night.